the DNC lawsuit is still being buried underneath talks of Russia. And that's what I hate most about Russia. It's not Russians. It's that Russia, the talk, it just takes away everything. We have a DNC fraud lawsuit right now that I'm on pins and needles about because I feel like it fundamentally could change our democratic process, alleviating the corruption, at least the overwhelming amounts of corruption that are in the Democratic Party. But it will not be talked about. Jared Beck and Elizabeth Beck are the attorneys, the lead attorneys on this case. And you would think this would be something that mainstream media wanted to talk about. But they do not. Instead, what we have is countless conversations about Comey. Why Trump got rid of Comey. What that means, and now the Russia and the Comey and the Russia and the Comey. And that's it. And no one wants to discuss this lawsuit that, based on WikiLeaks documents, we already know should be an open, shut, slam dunk, baby. But I'm wondering who's covering it. It's like you got to go to the internet. If you don't have an internet connection, if you don't know the progressive channels and the conservative channels that keep it real, and the people that have no labels but just keep it real, like my friend Hard Bastard, then you won't even know about the DNC fraud lawsuit. I bet only 1 out of 10 Americans know about the DNC fraud lawsuit. And that's a shame. But they know all about the Kremlin. I mean, really, they know nothing about the Kremlin. They know the word Kremlin. We really have to get away from the BS politics, and we have to purge these people who continue these talking points and obliterate and lay cover for the nonsense. The DNC fraud lawsuit is a huge story. It's a huge opportunity. And I want to challenge anyone who watches this show to challenge their content makers to cover this lawsuit. I have a challenge on the deck right now with Sean King, writer for the New York Daily News, senior writer, senior correspondent, New York Daily News. And I'm waiting for him to do his Facebook post to millions of people where he gets thousands and thousands of shares on an issue. And I'm waiting for him because I tweeted him, hey, Sean, aren't you going to talk about the DNC fraud lawsuit? And I hope that Sean talks about the DNC fraud lawsuit. And if he doesn't, I'm going to ask him again, and then we'll make videos. Because the DNC fraud lawsuit is a beautiful thing, not just because it's about justice and it's about reforming our Democratic Party and some type of repercussions, some type of...
There's going to be consequences and repercussions.
Consequences and repercussions for stealing and rigging and tilting and all of this other stuff that was done in the primaries in the Democratic Party. It also gives us an opportunity to better vet who we really trust and what they're really about as far as where our content comes from. Because this, folks, if you are not talking about the DNC fraud lawsuit, you ain't talking about nothing, because this is that important. And I don't care if you're Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, People's Progressive Independent Party, I don't care what you are, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what label you wear. We want fair elections. So we got to get rid of cross-check. We got to get rid of these antiquated machines. We got to get rid of all of this gerrymandering, all this crap. But we got something right now on the docket that we need to stand behind. We need to get behind. So once again, I challenge you to challenge all your content makers. I don't care who they are, whether they be Sam Cedar or whoever, right? Challenge them to cover it. And how they cover that, right? How they cover it should be a barometer of what they're about. And I'm not going to tell you they're fake news. I'm not going to tell you they're sellouts. But yeah, they're selling out if they're not covering this correctly. Because we already know that the DNC fired people for the very reason why we have a lawsuit. We already know that, right? We know that, right? Okay. So, hey, I don't know. I'm not a look. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. But I know this. If I own a deli and someone's got sick at the deli, and then I fired 4 people who were making the food, then the person got sick, yeah, you might be able to say that somebody got sick at my deli. and that my deli got people sick. And it's not that big of a stretch of imagination. That's why I fired him. So that's what's happening with the DNC fraud lawsuit. I hope that everyone follows up on it and stays engaged. Follow both Elizabeth and Jared and Nico House and Zach Haller and H.A. Goodman and Tim Black for more information.